Say hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Stephanie Stitches. Today is Vlogmas Day 10, and as promised, today we're going to announce the winner. So I have Sarah here with me for the listing your favorite cookie. We appreciate everybody participating. That was awesome to see. First, I want to tell you that a lot of you love snickerdoodles. It seemed like snickerdoodles, peanut butter blossoms, and chocolate chip cookies were like kind of the consensus for the favorite cookies, but there was a lot of new cookies that I hadn't heard of that people had listed as their favorite cookie, so I thought that was very interesting. So thank you guys so much for sharing. I did a random comment picker, and I don't have the ability to like push it up on my screen, so I told Sarah ahead of time the name that popped up, and she's going to tell you. So you want to tell them who won?
The winner is Terry Cooper.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So Terry, if you're watching, please get a hold of me. I will have my email below in the description box, and send me your full name and address where I can send you your package. Thank you so much. Yay! Thank you, Sarah, for stopping by and helping me. Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, so she's gonna go, and I'm going to sew up the blocks for today. I'm working on the Homemade Holiday Fort Worth Fabric Studio mystery quilt, and today I'm working on the present box that you can see behind me. There's a small one. It's up there, guys. Sorry, you can't see it. There's two sizes. There's a small, which is this one, present, and a big present. And I sewed up one of each just to see what they would look like, to make sure I could actually show you guys. And so I'm going to finish sewing those right now. I'm going to show you. They were really, really easy, first of all. There's two different sheets today of instructions. There's a small and a large, if you guys are doing that. So make sure you download both of those. Like I said, this is a completely free sew along. You just have to go to their website, which again I will link in the description box below, and get this pattern. So I started this late, as you guys know, and I've pretty much caught up. This is the last set of blocks that I have to finish, and then the next release for the quilt, the next block in the quilt, comes out Monday. That would be the 13th. So I'm almost caught up. So it didn't take me long to catch up. What took me long is the cutting, I'll be honest with you. I'm a slow cutter. I have arthritis in my hand, so it takes me a little bit of time to cut. And there was a lot of pieces. But once I got all the cutting done, like, the sewing has been really quick, and it's been a lot of fun. And the blocks are coming out so cute. I've never made like little peppermint candy blocks before. That was fun. These presents are larger size presents than I've ever made. I've made smaller presents, so that was fun. This has just been a great time. So alright, I'm gonna get started, and hopefully this video will be great today and it won't be corrupt and I can upload it. I'm so excited. I want to finish this, and I'm happy that I'm catching up, and I'm gonna hopefully stay caught up so I can show you guys the finish. We only have 2 weeks left. It's this coming Monday, the 13th, and then the following Monday, which I believe is the 20th, that will be the final. Like, they're going to show us how to put it all together and make it like a cohesive quilt top. So I'm super excited. All right, so the small present needs 3 colors. There's the background color, and then this red color, and then these rectangles that were used in the present. So the first thing you have to do is take these red ones. We're going to make the bow for the top of the present, and we're going to sew them onto a background square, kind of like flying geese, but the flying geese is going to be like at the bottom. It is a flying geese. It's not kind of like a flying geese, I guess. The flying geese is going to be at the bottom, so that way it makes the bow. Alright, I'm just checking. This is directional fabric that they chose. A couple probably things that I might have done a little bit differently. Not that I'm criticizing them. I know it's not easy to kind of put fabrics together with a pattern, but there's a few fabrics in this line that are very directional, and if you got the kit and you're still working on this, be careful when you make these bows, because the first time I put it together, I hadn't sewn it yet, thank goodness, but I was laying the pieces together and I flipped and I realized that these red have candy canes on them, and when I flipped them, they were either sideways or upside down. So I had to reorient them to make sure they're going the right way. That's my OCD craziness. You guys might be okay with it, but I don't like when directional prints don't go the right direction. And that's, some of the things are not going to be able to be avoided though, because they didn't tell us ahead of time, like in the cutting instructions, to cut this way if it's a directional print, or that way, to make sure that they were going the correct direction. So some of these pieces are going to be sideways, and that will make me a little bit nuts, but that's okay. I put them on the wall here behind me and kind of stood over and backed up and looked at them, and you really can't tell. It's just me. You may be right. I may be crazy. Or I just may be a lunatic. Anyway. Okay, so I pinned this here, and you could draw a line corner to corner, or I've got the seam guide tape right here on my machine. So most of the time I don't draw lines anymore. I just follow that seam guide tape. I do draw lines when it's bigger pieces, like when I did the peppermint blocks. The way that they did the pinwheels is they had us make 8 half square trials at once from 2 large squares, so you had to draw the lines in an X and then cut it to get the 8 square triangles. So that I did the lines for, because they were bigger pieces. But smaller pieces, I generally just use the seam guide tape on my machine. So, and then, oh, there's my scissors. And then cut these, or you can use a rotary cutter or scissors, about a 1/4 inch away from the middle seam there. And then we're gonna, on flying geese, before you can go to the next step or put the next piece on, you have to press out, or whatever way you're gonna press, but you need to press this piece first. So I get this question every time I sew. I'm using the Acorn Precision Piecing Pen. That's one of my favorite notions. I just feel it really helps press those seams nice and flat, so everything goes together like a lot better. So I put that on there, and you can see my seam is nice and flat. So actually I need to refill this, so I'm going to refill this now. So to use this pen, you get the liquid that comes with it. This is a starch alternative, similar to Best Press, but it's their own proprietary formula, so it's a little bit different. You unscrew the end of the pen, put some of the liquid in. Don't fill it too high, because if you do, when you thread the back on here, it'll kind of spill out a little bit. And make sure you screw this all the way in. Ask me how I know. I did that one time, and I started pressing, and there was like liquid going everywhere, and I was like, oh. So that was fun. All right, so that's ready to go. Move my scissors so I don't cut myself. Now put that on here. I'm checking the fabric, because like I said, this is the directional fabric. Okay, there we go. Now it's in the right way. I'm just gonna pin this. I don't pin very often, but with half square triangles, I do sometimes, just so this guy doesn't move. Especially when it's important to finishing, like to make the block. When you're doing flying geese, you need it to be in the right spot, so. So are you guys all ready for Christmas? I have just about everything done, except of course making the Christmas cookies and things, but we'll do that like the day before Christmas. But I've got everything wrapped and ready to go. My kids don't get a whole lot. We try not to spoil them too much, but they were getting into our room trying to sneak and see what the presents were, so the other night I stayed up really late and I wrapped them all. So my daughter came into the closet the other day when I was getting clothes to get dressed, and she's like, wow, there's a lot of presents wrapped. And I was like, well, I had to wrap them so you guys didn't see what was and she was like, I wasn't gonna spy, that's not fair. And I'm like, So did you guys spy when you were kids? I did that one Christmas and I learned my lesson because my sister and I decided that our parents weren't smart, or at least that's what we thought. We're like, they wrapped all the presents and they put them under the tree like a week before Christmas, and we're like, oh, we can like open these packages really nicely and tape them all back shut and they will never know, and then we'll know what we're getting. I think I was like, I don't know, 8, and my sister's a year older than me, so yeah, it didn't go too well. We taped them all back up, but obviously our parents knew because they took all of our Christmas presents back because we peeked. So yep, the things we do as kids, crazy, right? So I'm just keeping them in our bedroom closet, so there's none of that temptation. Plus, if we put them under the tree, either our toddlers or the cats would probably have them open in about 2 seconds. We have 2 cats. We have a little black and white, and we've got Tuxedo Cat, and we've got a Siamese. And our Siamese loves to climb, and he's already been up in the tree, like up in the tree. It's not a very tall tree, but he's been up in it. So, and the other one's been sitting underneath it on the tree skirt. So yeah, I'm pretty sure if we put the presents out that they'd probably make a mess of them. Okay, so this is the top. That's the bow for the top of the present. Now, for these small ones, one of them, this green, needs to be at the top, and the next one has to be at the bottom. So I was going to go ahead and put this on the top, but I realized that the instructions say to make one of each. So it's probably going to depend on how it's going to go in this quilt. I cannot wait to see how this ends up. So now I'm just going to make the box part of the present. So it's really simple. It's just 2 bigger rectangles and 1 in the middle. So these are the fabrics for that. This is fun because this block sewed together really fast. That all lined up. Okay, I'm gonna press that. And that's what it looks like so far. I'm going to put this other one on the other side, and we'll have the bottom of our present. And if any of you out there watch Sew Yeah, they're still doing Flashmas, and there's their regular Tuesday night sale and their D-stash on Saturdays. And this last Saturday, they were selling their new hoodies. So mine came today. I love it. And they weren't kidding. Like their sister was on with them, Rami, and she said it was super soft, and it is. Like, I've been really cold all day, and ever since it came, I put it on and I haven't taken it off. A lot of times I don't like sweatshirts because they're rough on the inside, because I have a short sleeve shirt on, so I don't have anything on my arms underneath it. But this is really, really soft, and it's nice. It fits really well. I was worried about that because sometimes when they're designed for men, they don't fit women perfectly, but it fits really well, and it's super soft. The sleeves are slightly long, but I just rolled the cuffs a little bit and kind of pulled them back. But I'd rather have them a little long than too short, but I just love this hoodie. It's great. And I like Sew Yeah, so I like to support them. They're good guys. So if you were thinking about getting one of these and you're on the fence, I'm telling you, it's nice. Okay. I like to keep a sweater or a cardigan or a hoodie or something down here in my sewing space, because my studio is in the basement of our home. It's a finished basement, but it's still a basement. It gets chilly, especially in Ohio. So I think this is going to be my new go-to hoodie in the basement. Hoodie for the basement. Okay, so here's the present bottom, and here's the top. I'm just going to put them together. Super simple. Blocks are going together really quick. I like that. The longest one so far was the pinwheel block, but that's, you know, pinwheels take a little longer because you got to line up everything. But they were still a ton of fun. It was really neat watching them come out. So somebody told me that my machine was too loud for camera, which is fine. It is what it is. I have a fast machine, so it's loud. So I've turned it down a little bit to a slower speed. So you guys let me know if it's still too loud or if it's okay. The sad part is that means I have to sew slower, but it's okay. Sometimes that's not a bad thing. I'm pedal to the metal most of the time, and even though my seams come out pretty good and straight, sometimes slowing down and enjoying the process is kind of fun too. Especially on this quilt. I'm having a lot of fun with this quilt. Okay, so I just checked my block again to make sure I don't do this wrong. So like I said, the last time this strip was on the top, now it goes on the bottom. So it says make one of each. And then that's it. We're done with the small present. So to sew this on, move on to the large one. These fabrics are all from the same. This is Hustle and Bustle by Basic Grey from Moda. And Basic Grey is the designer of grunge, if you're a grunge fan. So they do mostly grunge, but they do prints too. And the prints in this Hustle and Bustle line are very classic Christmas. Like classic Christmas colors. The ornaments are very like what I would think of was probably like on my grandparents' Christmas tree when my parents were growing up. The words are kind of have that Fair Isle type look. Yeah, I really like this fabric. And then of course they mixed in, like this background fabric is a grunge. So they used this pear grunge, and then the candies, the white part on the candies is vanilla grunge. So they mixed their classic grunge in with that. So, okay, there's the small present. Fun. So nice and quick and easy. Now I'm gonna do the larger present. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do the screen and these squares. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we did with the small present and put these little squares on the backing to make the flying geese for the top of the present for the bow. So again, you can draw the line on the back of these if you like. I'm just using my seam guide tape that's on my machine. Oh, a few people have asked me where to get this little iron. You can get them, I believe Walmart carries them. I used to carry them, but they're really hard to get a hold of right now. So I don't have them in stock. But I'm pretty sure they have them at Walmart, and a lot of the quilt shops sell them. So this is the little steam fast iron. Now I know that there's been a few people, I know you guys know Becca, she's had several of them and not had very good luck. And I'm not quite sure why. She said she's getting them from Amazon, so I don't know if they're getting bum ones or what, but she's had trouble with them, like not working, burning out. I've not had any problem with mine. I've had mine for several years now, and it's just fine. And actually, I have an Aliso Pro. That's my big iron that I use with my ironing board when I'm ironing yardage or whatever, or ironing quilts. And that I've had for about 7 years maybe, my Aliso Pro, and it's starting to go. It's not getting as hot as it used to. So I might be in the market for one of those soon. But this little guy, I've had him for, I want to say 4 or 5 years, and I've never had any problem, and he gets super hot, which I like, because I just like that you get a nice, good press. Nice and flat blocks. That makes me happy. So I'm going to add the little side pieces to finish the bow. And then I've also been asked about my little ironing board here. Now, you could make one yourself. It is a pretty thick piece. I want to say probably at least a ½ inch, maybe more, thick of plywood. So you could have Home Depot cut that, and then buy, well, you wouldn't have to buy, you probably have it in your stash, but put a piece of batting and then wrap it in fabric, and all you have to do is staple gun it to the bottom. And this one has feet on the bottom of it. You don't necessarily have to put feet on it. I did not make this one. I bought this at the Old Country Store in Lancaster, PA, when I was there visiting. We were there on a family vacation one time, and I did kind of a quilt shop hop, and I found this there several years ago now. They still sell them, so I'll link their shop below. Great shop. I love that shop. But I have made an ironing pad before, or an ironing board before. I have a cutting table to my right. You guys can see that. I've got a mat on there. Before I had that table before I had space. I had the table and I had the sewing table before I was blessed enough to get the basement as my studio. I had my sewing space in a corner of our bedroom, so all I had was this and that table. So I had made a ironing board to go on that table, and I would switch it out with the cutting mat. So I had it cut, the piece of plywood, to the size of that table, and went to Joann Fabrics and bought ironing board fabric, which is like a silvery insulated fabric, and stapled it, like pulled it all around, stapled it to the back of the plywood, and made my own ironing board. So you definitely can do it. The Home Depot was great. When I bought the plywood, I gave them the exact dimensions, and they cut it right there for me, because I am not a handy person. I don't work with tools other than sewing tools, and so there's no way I could bring home like a whole piece of plywood and make something. So they cut it for me, which was great. Alright, so that's the top of the present. Now I'm going to make the body of the present. So I'm going to take this rectangle right here and attach it to the part of the ribbon that goes through the present. So anyway, all of that to say, you can definitely make one of these yourself. But when I saw this when we were on that vacation, I had actually brought on that vacation my sewing machine and a little iron, but I did not bring obviously the big ironing board, and I figured the place we were staying would have one, and they didn't. So when I found this, it was like kind of a lifesaver, so I could sew that week, because we spent a whole week in Lancaster. My whole family, not just me. We were there just on a family vacation. So I've had it for several years. I need to recover it because my cover has gotten stained and dirty and kind of looks grody, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the one for the other side too. Alright, got those two done. Now I'm going to add the bottom piece there of the present to those two pieces that I just made. Make sure it's turned the right way. And then I'll press them both, and then all we'll have left is to put the ribbon in the middle between the two sides, and then put the bow on top. So I hope you guys are checking out the other creators on YouTube. If you guys don't know already, which most of you probably do, but you know Yvette, that I've been linking her vlog every day, or her link to her YouTube channel every day on mine. Her and I are friends and sister shops, and she's been doing, you know, or she's done one so far, word of the day for me, so you could check me out and check her out. If you guys are going over and checking her out, she's had some fun stuff. If you haven't seen it yet, she does quilting like I do, except she does traditional piecing, but she also does foundation paper piecing. So if you guys are interested in foundation paper piecing, you should definitely check her out. But she's been opening some quilty things on her channel every day, her advent calendars, fabric advent that she's been getting, a couple of them, and some other fun things. But she's also been opening some boxes that she gets in her personal life, and one of them, she has 4 cats, kind of 5, because there's this cat that lives outside that she feeds and takes care of too, and so she gets a box called the Cat Lady box, and it's the cutest thing, especially for a cat lover like her. And she did a haul the other day, or she did a video the other day, and you guys, if you haven't been over to her vlog, you need to go watch it. It's the funniest thing ever. She'll have you cracking up till you're about ready to just cry. So sometime this weekend, one of my videos will direct you to her channel to get the word of the day. Today I will give you the word of the day right here on my channel. It'll be just a minute. Okay, got that side on. There's my pen. Can you guys believe it's the 10th of December already? I can't. It's crazy how fast this year went. Okay, that's one side. Do the other side. So we only have 14 more days till Santa comes. Anybody else like the big guy in red? I do. He's fun. And he happens to be the word of the day. So today, the word of the day is Santa. This weekend, my daughter is performing at our local mall with her dance company, and I think my kids are hoping to see Santa, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to Saturday. Now, this weekend, I'm not going to have my Saturdays with Steph because my daughter does have a performance, but I will be sewing at some point with Yvette on her channel on Saturday. I think we're going to try for 6 o'clock, maybe 5, 6 o'clock. She'll let you know. We're sewing up a drawstring bag. She's going to teach us how. Put the top on. So please join us over there on her channel. I do know that you have to buy the pattern, and she'll have all that information for you on her channel. You have to buy the pattern for the bag. You can either buy a kit from her, which is probably going to be too late now to get it from her, but if you want to watch and do it later, or you can go onto the designer's website and purchase and download a PDF so you can sew along with us and use your stash. That's going to be a fun time. And I know she's going to have all that info over on her channel, so if you want to check that out. I used to make bags a lot, and I haven't done it for quite a while, so I'm kind of excited to make those. And Yvette's really, really good at those drawstring bags. She's been doing them for a really long time, so I'm excited to kind of do it again after such a long time and maybe get some pointers from her. So plus I just like the way she teaches. Yvette's a really good teacher, so that should be a lot of fun. Okay, and there's a large present. So these went together super fast. That was a lot of fun. I cannot wait. That's not going to fit. I'm going to have to get up and put it above the other one. I can't wait to see the end of this quilt, or the reveal of this quilt. So next Monday, or this coming Monday, the 13th, is the next block, and then the following week, the 20th, is when they reveal how to put it all together to make it look like a cohesive quilt top. So super excited. So I hope you guys come back and join me, and don't forget to subscribe and share with your other quilting friends and subscribe. I have to get to 2,500 to give away the iron. I'm getting there little by little. So, but we only have 14 more days. So you guys can help me out and share my channel and ask people to subscribe. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming by today. Don't forget the word of the day is Santa. Take care. Bye.